Hello, my name is Anna Welsh, and this is my presentation of my research for the Department of Modern Languages at K-State, titled Out of Sight and Underpaid, Women's Labor and the Urban Landscape of Madrid in Carmen de Burgos's La Rampa. Carmen de Burgos's La Rampa is a historical fiction novel that explores how women's daily lives and labor interact with the early 20th century city of Madrid as a dynamic and urban space. Though educated women during this time had more opportunities to join the workforce, especially in the medical field, women overall faced societal pressure to care for the home and family and were rarely fairly compensated for their work. I've chosen to express these themes and data through our cartographic narrative, or a map, to show a visual representation of how largely uneducated women in La Rampa were always working towards financial stability, whether this work was paid, unpaid, or often invisible to the extent that it encroached on their days of leisure. As a mostly visual project, this map has gone through several changes and rough drafts. This first photo is the first step. I used a 1920s map of Madrid to trace out and plot the locations mentioned in the book. This next photo is my first rough draft of how I wanted to visually represent this research, using the map as the backbone of this next rough draft, so the locations on my final draft are not arbitrary. Now that you've seen where I started, this is my final version of the map. This map shows the three areas of women's labor represented in La Rampa: paid, unpaid, and leisure. Paid labor, shown in the red sections on the map, was risky in terms of the long hours, little pay, and poor working conditions. Women in these paid positions, such as factory workers, shop girls, and actresses, were often perceived negatively. This was due to the fact that they occupied a space in the public sphere that was traditionally reserved for men. The unpaid housework, shown in the purple sections, often granted women certain economic and social stability that the other jobs did not. The position of a housewife or a mother was often an ideal position for women, as women who stayed home were seen as morally superior to those who worked in the public sphere, and they were often called angels of the home. Despite the social benefits and stability of having a family to care for you in old age, the work as a housewife or a mother was uncompensated and just as much physical labor as other paid positions. The third blue section represents areas of leisure, or which I argue is unpaid labor in disguise. Leisure activities such as shopping or walking around the Retiro Park with a male companion were performed in order to compete with other women who wanted to attract husbands as a means of obtaining economic stability. The pressure to marry and secure one's future increased with age as older women began to lose their youth and their beauty required to find a husband easily. Without the promise of marriage, women in La Rampa were likely to end up poor and on the streets. This research is especially exciting because of its international reach and impact. I'm planning to share this information and the graphics with feminist bookstores in Spain and the Carmen de Burgos Foundation, with the help of my professor, Dr. Bender. This bilingual project will have multiple, wide reaching outcomes as translated into English and Spanish in order to be posted on websites and blogs in order to promote the legacy and work of Carmen de Burgos. This is really important due to the fact that La Rampa has not been translated into English yet. It is historically important to Spanish and feminist literature as it was written by a female author whose work was censored for much of the 20th century Franco dictatorship. Burgos's writing offers unique and unexplored perspectives into the daily struggles of urban women during the turbulent time of emerging modernity, which should be shared with current generations of readers. Thank you.